Leeds, Leeds.
So, seen a bit of news today that Deportivo in second division of Spain are interested in Ramazani. I think it's rubbish, if I'm honest. They probably are interested, but I'm sure Crawley Town would be interested if he were available. But it's not going to happen. He isn't going to drop down to second tier of Spanish football. And I think the La Liga side, it might be a bit different, but they're not. Regardless of what division Leeds are in next season, you know, it depends on minutes. If a La Liga side were interested, maybe you'd have a conversation. Right now, we're not playing much football, but it got me thinking. I want to know people's opinions on Ramazani. I think he's technically gifted. I think we all can see that. I actually believe if he wouldn't have been injured in that Watford game earlier in the season when he was flying, he probably asked Starman at that time. I think he'd have probably kept his position. Solomon came in and he hasn't really looked back. Let's be fair, since Solomon came in, he hasn't had a sniff, Ramazani. Do I think Solomon's a better player? Right now, yes, I do. But I think Ramazani's ceiling is so high. I think Ramazani's such a talent. I think he's got it all, if I'm honest. The question is, if he's not played in the Championship, can he hold his own in the Premier League? How can you not start in the Champ, get promoted and 12 months later be playing in the Premier League? Is that a tough ask? Is it a big ask? Let me know in the comment section below. I sort of want to know your opinion on that, because is he going to be a backup player again next season? A bench option, that first sub off on the left-hand side? If so, does he want that? Is he happy just being a Premier League player? Because right now he seems to be happy enough. He's involved in goal celebrations. He does get minutes. He's had consecutive games where he hasn't got minutes as well, to be fair, which it's been a bit crazy that you've got someone like Ramazani at bench and sometimes he doesn't get played at all. But yeah, I think there's definitely a talent there. I think he could occupy that number 10 role as well. I think he's potentially a really gifted player, and he's still young. I think massive sell-on value potential if we get to Prem and it becomes a bit of a staple in that side. But it's just a really interesting conversation with him, because do we sign Solomon on a perm? Then he's competing with Solomon again. Does he miss out potentially? Does Solomon go back to Tottenham or move on or go elsewhere, which leaves him as his only recognised left sider if you class Nonto as a right sider for now? Does that automatically mean he starts, or do Leeds go sign a better option than Solomon, which then gives Ramazani something else to, another headache to sort of try and overcome? So I think personally we keep Ramazani. I don't think he goes anywhere. I think his best chance of Premier League football is at Leeds United. I still believe we're going to win the league. I believe we're going to be a Premier League side next season. And why would you leave that? It's just an interesting point when you look at he isn't playing now in the Championship. So does he back himself enough to stay at Leeds United as a Premier League outfit and get minutes? It's really interesting. Like I say, I think he should stay at Leeds. I also think we should get Solomon, and I think I think between Ramazani and Solomon, I think they're great options on left, even in the Premier League. I think that's, for a newly promoted side, I think that's really great depth. We've always said all season, it's a cheat code really that we've got them in the Championship. Don't let that cloud your vision thinking you need to upgrade because you're a Premier League side. I think the wingers we've got, if we kept all four, I think all four are very capable for the Premier League. In my opinion, we wouldn't need to add there if we signed Solomon on a permanent. And having Ramazani behind Solomon, I think it's just form, who you pick, who's in form out of the two. Same as on the right hand side. I think Nonto's top drawer on his day, high ceiling again. Dan James has just been undroppable, and that's fair play to Dan James. And you get to the Premier League, will that switch around? Will that change? It's great having competition. One has an off day, they know there's someone really talented, with loads of potential right up their arse, which is what I want to see at Leeds United. But yeah, really interested on Ramazani. I think he stays at Leeds regardless of what division we're in. And yeah, I'm over to my mate Sean.
Hi, Sean at Wilco Whites. Okay, my views on the Ramazani link to Deportivo La Coruña. Now listen, they're sitting in the second division of the Spanish league. Could it have legs? The fact that he's not been playing this season much, Ramazani, obviously that's because of the form of Solomon. Could be questions asked. Is he going to get a spot in the Premier League if we get promoted? It's an interesting one. Do we think he's good enough? He's not proven anything yet. He's a good player. We know he is. Listen, he's been good in the Championship when he's played. He was just unlucky with the injury. He had to come out, and I personally feel we keep hold of him. Is there a chance he goes? Maybe that'd be up to him. If You know, he feels he needs more game time. And again, is he going to get it in the Premier League? Possibly not, depending on who we sign. Thing is, there's a player in there, and he's only a young player, a bit like Willie Gnonto. Obviously he's a bit older than Willie Gnonto, but you want to keep hold of these players. So maybe it's just a bit of a lazy link. And what about a loan deal? If for that to happen, maybe that would be better for him. But he's a second tier in the Spanish league. It's a bit low in it. It's better than that. So for me, nah, I don't think that will happen. I think Leeds see a bit of potential in him. Bit like Isaac Schmidt's situation. You know, they've told him he's got a future. He's one that's going to, you know, develop. And once you get used to English football, I think he's going to shine. So I think it's one of those with Ramazani. We just need to bide his time a little bit. And he needs game time. He needs game time to prove himself. And hopefully he's going to get minutes towards the back end of this season. And possibly in the Premier League if we go up. And, you know, it's a different question. If we wasn't to go up and stay in the Championship, you're keeping hold of him, aren't we? Definitely. So, yeah, for me, it's a no-go, but an interesting view.